welcome to Sports Night for tonight. I'm Kat Murphy.
I'm Kyle Erickson.
I'm Evan Smith.
I'm Caitlin Cleveland.
And I'm Nair Tolliver.
Let's go to Nair first for an SU overview of baseball and softball.
Thank you, Kat. Men's baseball has an overall record of 21-5 and a conference record of 9-3. They played 3 games against Wesley College on Saturday and won those games. The 5th-ranked Salisbury University baseball team received strong starting pitching from senior Andrew Levy and sophomore Brett Kalicki, and timely hitting to sweep Wesley College 3-1 and 2-1 in a Capital Athletic Conference doubleheader. Levy tossed his first complete game of the season. He struck out 4 to improve to 5-0. Kalicki carried a no-hitter into the 5th and allowed 4 hits, a run, and 3 walks, while fanning 5 to go 5-1 on the year. Kevin O'Neill tied the game with an RBI single, and Bill Root followed with an infield single. O'Neill scored the go-ahead run on the play, and Root, who came home on an error to make it a 2-run lead. In the 3rd game, the Gulls won 5-1, and junior center fielder Bill Root chipped in with a 2-for-5 day with his 8th double and 2 runs. SU hosts the University of Mary Washington in the 3-game series starting Friday at 3:30 at the SU baseball field. The Seagulls can clinch the top seed in the CAC tournament, winning 2 of 3 games. Women's softball has an overall record of 24-2 and a conference record of 4-0. They played a doubleheader against Washington College and won both games. Senior Hannah Mills hit her 2nd home run of the day to tie the Shore Women 2-2 in the 4th inning. The Gulls won the game by a score of 3-2. Mills went 4 for 6 with 4 runs scored and 6 RBIs on the day, including a grand slam, her 2nd one of the season in Game 1. Rachel Johnson earned her 2nd win of the day to improve to 15-1 on the season. A 3-run home run by Michelle Gravidal in the 5th gave SU a 4-1 advantage before classmate Lindsey Brown singled up the middle to plate Mills. Gravidal went 4 for 6 with 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored. The Gulls won by a score of 11-3 in 6 innings. The Gulls will play a doubleheader on Wednesday, April 10th at Wesley College at 3 p.m. And now to Caitlin for men's and women's lacrosse.
Thank you, Naira. Salisbury's number 6 ranked men's lacrosse team defeated Mary Washington on Saturday during their senior game and Lax for Leukemia game. After a tough loss last Wednesday to Stevenson University, they bounced back with a 20-4 victory over the 17th ranked CAC opponent. Senior Eric Klug led the team with 3 goals, but the most impressive feat of the evening, however, came with 2:39 left in the game when sophomore Alex Neves, who is playing his first season following a battle with leukemia, scored his first goal of the season. This was only one of 7 Salisbury goals scored in the 4th quarter. The Seagulls will end their regular season with a 3-game road trip starting Saturday, April 10th at Wesley College. The number 2 ranked women's lacrosse team also came away with a win this weekend after a 21-4 victory over CAC opponent St. Mary's College of Maryland. With this win, the Seagulls tied the all-time Division III record for consecutive regular season wins. Within the first minute of the game, SU's Shelby Nemsek scored with an assist from senior Katie Bullhorse. The Seagulls continued to dominate throughout the game. Freshman Melissa Webster and sophomore Katie Hacker both had a career-high 3 goals for Salisbury. Their next game is Wednesday, April 9th, when they head to Wesley College and try to break the record for consecutive conference wins. Now to Kat for next question.
And now on to the next question. The Louisville Cardinals take on the Michigan Wolverines tonight in the NCAA Tournament Championship game. Who do you predict will win the tournament?
Would I want to start?
All right, whose predictions? We'll go down the line.
Well, okay, I don't see why Temple's being counted out.
Wait,
Oh, we're talking about the finals.
Yeah.
The finals. Michigan all the way. I think.
It's just like, what? Yes.
I thought you were being sarcastic.
Michigan and, Louisville, yes.
they play tonight.
Yes, they
Yeah, no. Michigan. Michigan,
Michigan.
I think the Fab Five, they're all going to be in attendance besides Chris Webber. I heard some talk he may not show up because of his timeout incident. I don't know if you remember that. Michigan, high-powered offense, a lot of rebounding.
Thank you, Evan.
That's all you got? I mean,
That's more
I
than
guess I would say Louisville because, ranked number 1, which probably doesn't hurt their chances too much. And they're playing on with heavy hearts because they're really trying to win this for Kevin Ware, whose leg did a full 180 a couple weeks ago when he came down awkward on it. So I think that Louisville's got the fire to take it all the way.
I have to agree. I think Louisville as well. think that they're the best. They have the most depth. They're the quickest. I think that they're really good at defending the three-point line, and they've been holding opponents to just 31.5% on three-pointers this season.
Nice
which is
stat.
cool. But I know, bringing in the stats.
That was impressive.
Although for Michigan, I really, really, really like Trey Burke. I think that he's going to be their
Do
biggest.
you like him or do you like the way he looks, Kat? Because I feel like
I
that
like-
look, the
no,
look
I
you just
like-
gave was
I
more
really
of a,
like him.
Oh, I
I
like
think
him. Like,
he's such a good ball handler. He's such a good player. I think he's going to be their biggest problem. Guys, come on. And I think that he's a good teammate. I think that he will definitely be their biggest problem. But I think that Louisville's going to take it.
It's Michigan.
There we go.
Michigan.
Caitlin's the tiebreaker.
Like Mitch McGarry, he wasn't factored that much in the regular season. They brought him in, he's playing like a man possessed. I mean, rebounding wise, obviously Trey Burke's good. Tim Hardaway Jr. can hit it from outside. Nick Stauskas can hit it from outside. I mean, all these guys. I mean, Louisville's good. They're playing off good emotion, but you saw how they came out against Wichita State.
that's what I was gonna say.
Right. The
They-
very
they're-
beginning was rough.
They were stagnant, and Wichita State almost like knocked them off if they hadn't to come back in like the last final like 4
Yeah.
or 5 minutes of the game. So Michigan.
I agree with Evan Nair. I think it's going to be Michigan, and I think it's because of Trey Burke.
All alone.
And the fact that Louisville couldn't put it away against Wichita State. I mean, they did eventually, but they should have. I mean, they should have crushed them. They're number 1 seed Louisville, and I just the fact that they couldn't. They only beat them by a score of what? It was 4 points, 5 points.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that Michigan is going to be too much for them to handle, and I don't think they're going to.
They both kind of have like a good story behind them too. I
Yeah,
feel like
so-
the players in Louisville obviously want to play for Kevin Ware. They all want this whole big deal. But I think Michigan no one really expected them to get. I definitely didn't expect them to get this far. A lot of people
Yeah.
counted them out early, so I think this is kind of a.
Except for Kid President. Sorry, I'm a huge. If you guys haven't seen Kid President in his bracket, he was a huge Michigan fan.
Speaking of stories that have been blown out of proportion, this Kevin Ware thing,
That's
I think it's gone way too far.
That's
That's just
actually
me
our
personally.
next topic. Let's
I
go over it
I
real
knew
quick.
that. I timed it like that.
On to our next question. After Louisville's Kevin Ware suffered a leg injury in the game against Duke, the media has overpublicized this event. What do you guys think about what happened?
I think the media has overpublicized this event to the maximum, including Louisville. Did you know they're selling T-shirts for $25 with his name on it?
Yeah, it says, what does it say, win for Ware or something like that?
You
Or
gotta be
win for
kidding me.
Kevin?
Win for the
something like
team.
that?
You're the number 1 overall seed. You're expected to win, and not this. Oh, we need to win for Kevin Ware. You're expected to win. I feel bad for the guy. Obviously, I'm not saying like, oh, man, stop crying about it. He got injured. People get injured all the time. I'm hearing too many interviews
I'm
about
just-
him on
I'm just
SportsCenter.
excited to hear what Nair's
What do you guys
side is
think?
about this.
I
I'm getting
agree
loud.
with Evan.
Oh,
so
there we
much
go. See,
so.
remember last week? We're on point this week. I like
We are
this.
on point this week. I like this. I like this little vibe we got going here. But I mean, he broke his leg. Everybody does that. Everybody gets hurt. You're an athlete. You play a sport. Expected. I just feel like the media, they always want something to latch onto. This is like the feel-good story of the tournament. I mean, besides Florida Gulf
Absolutely.
Coast winning, this is like the second feel-good story of the tournament. Kevin Ware breaking his leg, his teammates crying. They all love to play for him. You hear Rick Pitino. Everybody's just, oh my God, Kevin Ware. He broke his leg. He didn't like die.
I was actually exactly what my point was too. I was going to say that
I got you, Kate.
it's been all over ESPN. They've been showing interviews with him in tears. They've been showing Rick Pitino in tears, and it's like they're acting like he died. And his career's not even over. He's gonna be playing
But you
again in a year.
don't know that.
That's the
It's
thing.
you, though.
That's
He's
the thing.
projected,
A leg
yeah.
injury like that is something that.
Yeah, okay,
I don't
physically
think you can physically you can. It takes a lot of rehab.
See,
to
I
come
think
back.
I think he'll physically come back. But I mean, I guess after what some of the interviews I saw, I think he'll be mentally ready to come back, and he says he is. But I don't know. I think that I see how the media has portrayed it, and it's big, but I don't think it's too much. Like I don't know. I think it's nice. It's nice. But I've been an athlete all my life, and I think when you have something to play for, it helped me so much. I mean, I've been through it personally, and it was someone that passed away, and it was the best game of my life after, and I'm playing for that person. And I mean, if that team is if that's what they need to win, then more power to them. Go ahead, use it to fuel their passion for the game, or
I
however you
think
want to put that
that's
sounded corny,
probably
but
part of why the media is overdoing it, because this makes the team want to play for something. This makes people want to cheer for a team. And this makes the story even better.
this makes
That's
people
just
want to
media,
watch.
that's
More
money,
people are going to tune into the game tonight. People
because
that
they
wouldn't
want to
normally
see,
watch
you know,
basketball.
a win with, you know, everybody hugging this kid and like all this, you know, excitement. And that's not. I think that's something that mentally and physically it's going to take a lot of time for him to come back from. I mean,
Yeah.
he could even lose a scholarship over this. He could lose a lot over this. He could never be the same player again. I know everybody's like, oh, rehab, you
We'll
can
have to see.
recover. Well, yeah, we'll have
Oh, yeah,
to see.
well, let's
but
see that.
that's-
I'm just saying. I mean, how many people? If Louisville wins tonight, how many people are going to turn off their TV saying, you know, it's good they won for Kevin Ware? Everyone. There's
What
not
I'm
one person
saying
that's
is
going to be
that-
like, I wish they would have lost because I wish Kevin Ware would have lost. Like,
Right.
no one's going to say that.
They're blowing it up to the point where people are like,
It's a feel-good story.
Yeah,
and I don't see anything wrong with that.
I think it's a little overdone too. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I agree with you guys in that it's overdone, but there's an obvious reason of why they're doing it, and I think it's
Well,
something.
they're doing it for profitability because like people like the feel good stories. They like, you know.
Well,
like
it,
the-
I
like
mean,
the growing
it could be
tears.
sad, but it's true. That's why they're overdoing it, because it's a feel-good story.
But what I think is what's really gonna be interesting to see what happens is after, like whether they win or lose, are they going to blame the fact that they lost on the fact that Kevin Ware wasn't playing, or are they going to, if they win, are they gonna, you know, say, oh, the reason they won is because their hearts were fired up and they were going for the win.
I
So-
think if they win, that's what's going to happen. But
Yeah,
I think if
it's
they
gonna
lose,
go either
if
way.
they lose, they're not going to be like, oh, well, we had a heavy hearts, and you know, like, and that would just be.
I just feel like the
would
story is gonna
appreciate that.
perpetuate way longer than it needs to, even after.
See,
it all
I
has
see
to
it just
stop.
kind
Yeah,
of
exactly.
fizzling
It has
out
already.
after whoever the game tonight and it's just like the expected media attention that's next week to whoever wins. I think that it'll be no longer than it should be for the national championship game. We'll see though.
All right,
See
I
what
guess we
happens.
will have to see. And Rutgers basketball coach Mike Rice has been physically and verbally abusing his players. Do you think he deserved to be fired?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so-
Oh, there's
Another
I-
question.
Did
I
everybody?
hope-
Now everybody saw the videos, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Swearing and ball
The-
throwing. pushing from
okay,
behind.
I almost kind of understand swearing. I don't understand the derogatory terms he used to call his
Yeah,
players.
that's
That's
the
not
issue.
okay. But coaches, I understand passionate coaches that get fired up. Okay, when you start to physically injure, okay, I even understand a little bit of roughhousing to get it in their heads, like this is
Right.
where you need to stand. Like again, I was an athlete. Okay, well I never got like that, but still, I understand that. But when you start throwing basketballs and calling them derogatory names that are offensive to not only them but whole entire groups of individuals, that's not okay. That crosses the line. The fact that it was caught on, like, no.
And it had been caught on tape for a while, which I thought it was just
They've
funny
known-
that
they've
it's
known
just
all along.
like
Yeah,
come
I
out
don't
now that
understand.
this is what they want to do.
Administrators knew about this like last fall.
I
Like
mean,
this is something
yeah,
that's like been known.
But if they were going to fire them, they should have done it then. But when they suspended him for 3 games and fined him, that's what they thought was appropriate for that matter. I mean, but you look at other coaches who have done a lot, like Bobby Knight. He's done a lot. It may not have been called on tape, but everybody knows what Bobby Knight said to his players. I mean, you can't. I mean, it's just like one of those things where it's like you know that as a leader, you're a coach, you're the leader of the team. These guys look up to you. You can't be putting your hands on them. You can't be throwing stuff at them like that. Because
Especially when they're not looking at you.
yeah, like you literally threw a ball at someone's
I'm
face.
not sure
That
that
was the
teaches them or how that motivates them. It
Yeah,
just kinda-
I'd be terrified. I'd quit. I'd be terrified to go to practice. Granted, I'm a
I'm
girl.
surprised he didn't.
I mean,
different mentality. I'm not
I
a
think
college
it's
basketball player,
crazy,
but
but I
beat
think
up.
that, I mean, I think he took it to
More.
an extreme, but we've all seen coaches that use, I mean, I can tell you that I've had a coach who has used those derogatory terms towards me and my players, and it was kind of a suck it up thing, and I do think it's, you know, the wrong thing, but
He
I
wasn't
don't-
fired over his words. It wasn't the
Right,
words.
I
It was
understand
the
that. I
action
understand that
of
he
that.
Real
pushed
issue was the
them. I
physical
understand he
abuse.
threw stuff at them, but I still think that it was. I mean, yeah, it's a big deal, but
You want to chime
I
in?
don't know.
Or
I think the bigger issue here is, as you said, the president of Rutgers saw these tapes
exactly.
Yeah.
late last fall, and he's just now saying, "Oh, well, now this is showing on Outside the Lines. Everyone knows about it now. Yeah, you're
He's
fired."
trying to like push
Exactly.
it away. He keeps saying he's like, yeah, we took care of it. Let's move on. We took care of it. Let's move on. That's been like a
And
statement that I've
it's
read
not that
multiple
simple.
times.
He literally said he was too busy back when he first saw the tapes to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're too busy to protect your
but
kids.
then once it
That's-
appears on ESPN, it's
Yeah.
like, oh no, this is
Yeah.
bad press.
yeah, we
Right,
better
right,
fire him.
right.
It was just a total.
He needs to go
reactionary.
like the
decision.
Penn State scandal. Obviously, not as severe as Penn State,
Yeah.
but it was corrupt from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
once,
the president out of
once
here.
something hits national television, people make those decisions just immediately, even though the
Yeah.
issue should have been dealt with long before all the videos went out to the public. Like I think it's just ridiculous that it hadn't already been dealt with by the time that the videos were leaked to ESPN. Because he literally it was the next day, like a video hit outside the line, bam,
You know,
Mike Rice out of a job.
what do
So-
you guys think about the players? I have a quote I want you guys to hear. It said, Coach Rice did a lot for us off the court, academic and socially. I'm not saying that what he did was wrong, because I think it was wrong, but it was also really tough because it was a highlight reel of his worst moments.
Well, I mean, yeah, every coach has their bad moments, and I think there are a couple players on there,
There are
who knew,
there are a
like,
lot
who
of players that are
played
still
for,
supportive of him.
because he's your coach. I mean,
Well,
you can't just be, like, unless you were like mentally and emotionally like abused by him, and you felt like he really, really disrespected you and degraded you, then you're not happy that he's gone, because it's like you come in, a new guy's gonna come in,
Unless
and
he
you
seriously
possibly-
was that mentally abusive to them and like brainwashed them, which
Yeah.
can happen.
I mean,
You-
it
you
could
think
have
that
happened.
could happen?
Oh, I think so.
It could have, but I don't think that these
Not
18,
brainwashed,
19, 20-year-olds are
Uh,
going to
yeah.
be
Didn't take it a little
brainwashed
far.
by some guy just because you.
Did you guys hear about the Lithuanian student? His name is Gilvidas Baruta.
Oh yeah, Gilvidas.
He he was all over it. No. He transferred to, I think it was Rhode Island, because he was repeatedly called out a Lithuanian gay slur by this dude, Mike Rice, repeatedly. He's one of the ones who did run. Why would you want to? You're getting basketballs thrown at the back of your head. This dude makes me
I mean,
sick.
I don't think that Mike Rice is necessarily a bad person. Yeah, he's throwing the homophobic slurs out there, which is not cool. But then again, that is also kind of part of some sports culture, and like some areas more than others, obviously. I think the real issue is the dude having anger management problems.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
He was obviously, if he wasn't really angry about something, whether it be something about on the court or outside the court, or really wanting to win or keeping his job, like whatever it was, I mean, the dude was just taking out whatever his inner aggressions were out on the kids, and that's just ridiculous. It was excessive. It wasn't just him being aggressive to motivate them. It was him abusing them and taking out his own issues. And I mean, that's why we have anger management classes and stuff like that. I'm not saying that if he goes to anger management classes, he should have a job again, but I mean, I think the real issue is that the dude just had anger issues.
Yeah, and I understand when players said that the players that are supporting him. I mean, I've seen coaches that are very passionate on the court, but I know them more personally behind, like in the classroom and stuff, because high school teachers who are coaches, and they're the nicest people ever. They're just passionate about their jobs. Again, not physically abusive
Yeah.
or whatnot, but I think passionate. He just kind of there's a fine line.
There's a fine line between passionate and abusive.
And I think he crossed it. That was
Nice.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go on to our next topic. Chris Davis has been a leading player for the Baltimore Orioles so far this season. Will his run continue?
We can only hope.
No.
Right,
well,
yes, we
as-
can only hope.
As
I
of
agree
in the
with
past, I mean, today's game, well, he did okay in today's game, but he,
He'll come down to earth.
yeah.
4 homers and 16.
It's a 162 game season for.
But
Exactly.
We're only
still,
4%
that's-
through the
That's
season.
something
Yeah, we're
that,
6
that's a
games in.
good month for some players.
Yeah,
This has been a good,
it's a
like,
good
4
couple
games
days.
for him.
He,
That's good.
guys,
No, I'm not
I
discrediting
will tell
the
you,
dudes.
I was at opening day last Friday, and when Chris Davis hit that grand slam in the bottom of the 8th inning to put the Orioles on top, I don't know, 9-5 or 8-5, it was the best moment of life.
It was the best
It was
moment of life.
excellent.
I
It
would
was
think maybe
great.
winning the World Series.
See, that's when you know you've had no playoff success, when that is your top
Okay.
moment.
I just think he's a clutch
I just-
player. I think he's clutch.
Well,
Like, he's there. Like, he's...
Well, I would give you that the pitching hasn't caught up to the hitting yet. You see a couple of those pitches that guys are throwing him, they're not that good. I mean, all these pitchers have been getting rocked all weekend, anyways. So, and plus, didn't he just get called up like last year or something like
Chris
that?
Davis?
Yeah, or has he been in?
No, he's been. I know he was with the Orioles just last year, but I'm pretty sure he's been with the league. Not for like.
Yeah, but I mean, like playing like on the major league level.
I think
like,
there's been a couple of years. He played for Texas before.
either way.
Just too early to tell.
Yeah.
The season and everything.
We're
It's like the next
4.82% through the season so far.
There you go.
Wow.
There's
Not
nothing.
even 5%.
Although it was an impressive feat, I think that you can't think. Yeah, he was on track for 628 RBIs this season after the
Yeah.
first 4
Yes.
I
games.
don't think that's.
Well, I don't think that's
No,
gonna
that's a good
happen.
number. I'm glad you brought that up.
I mean, I was excited when I heard it. I just was like, oh yeah, as an Orioles fan, it was great. But like, let's be honest, people have their ups and downs, their hot streaks. I'm learning about this in one of my classes right now. He was just on a hot streak. May have ended. We'll see. But hopefully, he just has a good season overall. Maybe not as impressive as 680, whatever, how many RBIs, but
Yeah,
No, I think I'll get there.
He,
yeah.
He
Like
came out the gates a
optimism.
little bit faster than everyone else, but I mean, it's.
he was just really excited to start the season.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you though, there are some pretty good tweets about him. Like,
Yes. Someone
I'm
tweeted.
really need to cover
Did you
it.
know he's a list with only 3 other players who have 4 homers in the first 4 games? That's impressive.
and they're.
I think that's impressive.
I think that's one of those statistics that like no one ever thinks about until they're
That's
like,
the statistic that I thought about.
That's like he's
So-
hit the most home runs on a Tuesday before.
yeah, exactly. It's like
not
one of those
really-
statistics
I
that's just
think
like.
that's. How is that not an impressive
it's
statistic?
just like-
is.
I think it was more. I think the 17 are. I think.
It's such a
Why is that
specific
non-existent?
Yeah,
statistic.
exactly.
Like,
You
it's
have
Four
not-
homers in
Like-
the first 4 games.
Like
I
he
feel
was,
like that's not
like
overly
it's almost
specific.
like a stat. Like he had the most hits that went to the left side of the field when it was 74 degrees
Okay, I
outside.
said no. I said 4 homers in the first 4
Well, no, but what
games.
we're saying is
I didn't say anything
that
that's
statistic
that
is so like
specific.
meticulous that it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It is. Like,
I
you
think
have
it's
to
impressive.
research
It's-
that.
like,
I did not
mean, it's-
research it.
it's-
It was the first thing that popped up when I.
I mean, the
typed it.
Orioles PR department put together a sheet of Chris Davis this season has, and it was a full sheet of things that he's like, the number of RBIs and how it was more than like 8 teams in the major leagues so far, like just him. Which I think those kind of things are impressive, but like, I mean, just the fact that
Is
it's
it
the beginning of the
impressive?
season.
Yes. Does it mean anything?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Not
And
really.
that's hard for me to
Impressive,
say as
but
an Orioles
relevant.
fan.
I
I
don't
think
know
it's.
about relevant.
I think it's a good statement. All right, let's go on to our next question. Rumors have been swirling around Brittany Griner possibly becoming a part of the NBA. Do you think that she should be allowed to play?
She's 6'8". She's a girl.
6'8".
She's a
girl.
girl who
She's 6'8".
she's 6'8". She's a girl who can dunk. But this is, but okay,
Put
most
her next to
NBA
LeBron James now.
she'd get killed.
That's what I'm saying.
Isn't there, and I could be wrong about this, isn't there a women's NBA?
Yes, there is now.
WNBA, so
Yes.
But
Why
she
are
would-
we
why
talking?
doesn't she
But
go
for
there?
real, don't you think that she would? I agree. I don't think she should be in the NBA, but she would dominate the WNBA.
Oh, no question.
She would
A girl
dominate.
can ball.
She would either be
Like-
way up here in WNBA
Let's-
or way down
we
here
could
in the
put together a
NBA.
team here in the studio and dominate in the WNBA. Let's just be honest.
We could.
Okay, but the
We
point
could.
is,
I wanna
they're
see how that
trying to
would work
figure
out.
out if she should be at the top, no competition, or if she should be at the bottom.
But
either
you're
way
talking
up.
about like gender barriers, because like if she's allowed in the NBA, then why can't LeBron go play in the WNBA? Like,
I mean,
Play in the
it's
WNBA
true.
for a couple
if,
years.
if
It's
you
a
got
true thing, I
designated
agree
leagues
with
for
you.
specific genders, you gotta stick to that. You know, just like
She,
the gender
it's really, I think, the critics and the physicality of the NBA, if she can be able to play. And also, you have to have, an owner who's actually committed to signing a woman and not looking for,
Mark Cuban.
How'd you
yeah,
bring that
not
up, Bob?
looking
They
for
do have an
publicity.
owner.
Like, it needs to be about, like, yes, we want her, we
No,
have
it's
to be-
never not about publicity,
Well,
Kat.
I understand that, but I'm
Just
saying
ask
you need to
Kevin
have,
Ware.
it can be about publicity, but he also needs to be committed to the fact that
Yes.
he's signing a woman onto the team. That's what it needs to be
I don't
about.
think it could do. I don't think that's even possible in the
Well,
NBA.
you can have
I
some
think
kind of
that would-
publicity, obviously,
think-
but you need to have someone who's.
if you were to sign her, you also might as well sign her resignation, because I think
Yeah.
that would be because
I mean, I
Well,
agree with you guys.
signing-
Put me a
like,
point guard.
Signing her
it's gonna
open.
bring so much controversy. and
Yeah, there's
questions as to
how
whether
many, who's to
rules-
say that the entire WNBA would be like, well, why can't we play? Like, why can't you let us in?
Yeah.
Like, we're good. Why aren't we good enough? Like,
Start
then
an
it would.
uproar.
You would have to just have entire. Then there'd be like really bad guys playing the WNBA. Like, who's to say what would
Now, here's
happen?
what you do. If you have WNBA players saying, I want to play in the NBA, okay, come on. Go post up against
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Exactly.
I don't think
see how long that
that's
lasts.
different,
Because
though.
I
I
mean,
think
like
that's
the girl
different.
is 6'8", but she is not 250 pounds. Like
Yeah.
she's
She get killed every
yeah,
night.
Exactly.
I think
It's a rough game. Like
I don't think she could compete with them either. But I think saying that other WNBA players come in, I feel like she is obviously
No, she
way
wouldn't.
above.
But it's not fair to
other
be like, well,
WNBA
she's
players.
special.
I
Like,
just
she's
Well,
think
different.
it
draw
is
the line
fair. She
somewhere.
is.
Cat, but you
But there's
can't.
no way
but
you
you
can
can't tell a
say
bunch of
that.
other people that because then it's like, well, we're all special. Okay, look at.
Well,
A
they're
bunch of
not.
other-
If they're not as good as she is, they're not
Look-
6'8", they're not as good as she is.
I feel really bad that I can't name another
My
I,
WNBA
WNBA
I
player right
understand
now.
why they're considered. I don't
Lisa
think
Leslie.
they should consider
Lisa
her.
Leslie was considered one of like the most dominating figures in the WNBA. She could have played in the NBA if they wanted to.
But did this happen? Or is there a controversy over if she would play or not?
I mean, but
That's
it doesn't
the
have to
thing.
be the controversy, Cat. It's just the factor that you can't say Brittany Griner, oh, you could play the NBA, but all the rest of you can't do it because it causes a problem. It's already going to be a problem if she's playing anyways, but you
Yeah,
can't
that's the
just say
thing. If
she's
they're-
the only person who
If
can
they're
do
even
it.
considering her, I'm with you guys in the part that I think that she can't physically compete with men. Women cannot compete with men because we're not biologically engineered to compete with men. I agree with you on that. I do think that she's obviously way better than anybody in the WNBA, and it's just, I don't care if they're like, hey, you're special. Well, that's life. Like, sometimes some people are gonna be way better than you. I just think that there's some kind of reason there's some reason why they are considering putting her in the NBA, and we need to.
Because
be
Mark
able to
Cuban is
consider
a
that.
fool.
Okay,
That's
but we
why.
still need to consider. I still think it's something that should be put into consideration. I don't think she should. I agree with you guys. I don't think she should be in the NBA, but I think that we should consider the fact that they are honestly considering putting her in.
It'd
And
be
I think
funny
that's something
seeing.
we should consider.
It'd be funny seeing LeBron James in the WNBA. I'd watch that. That'd be.
I'm sure
That
it'd bring
wouldn't
a
even
lot
be-
more. Like,
That would be
someone
pretty
would actually
funny.
watch a WNBA game.
Yeah.
Or know it exists.
Or you
Who
could just
knows?
bring like Michael Jordan back. Just put him in WNBA. Maybe get Shaq coming in too.
Yeah, well.
Just getting all the retired
We'll
NBA
see.
I
players.
just think this opens a whole, like, if you
Yeah.
bring her in, then there's a locker room issue. She can't be in the same locker room. They have to
I
go to her
agree.
own
Yeah, they'd have
locker
to build a
room.
whole
They
new
have to have a
locker room
whole new
for her.
locker room for
Well, she's special though.
I
We
don't
can
know.
build our whole new locker
Yeah,
room.
exactly.
That's no problem.
It's just, it's
All
way
right,
too
all right.
much of a headache.
I already stated my
She'll
point.
have,
Alright,
it'll be
Skip
the
Bayless.
Brittany Griner locker room.
Well.
It'll be built in every NBA stadium.
Just
in the
one for
country.
her. So I guess we'll see what happens there. And the Capitals have been having a winning streak these past couple of games. Do you think that
Hat trick.
and they are currently in first. I'm sorry. Do you think that they will continue?
Okay,
to
they're in
stay?
first in their division, which is
Very
possibly
true.
the worst division in all of sports.
is.
Oh,
I just like to throw that out there.
First is first. It's kind of like a win's a win.
First,
I mean,
yeah, until you
Yeah.
lose in the first round again. But
Well,
that's never, yeah.
See, the way I see it is every time they go in as a top seed, they get blown out by Montreal or.
And last year, when they
Smart.
didn't, they lost.
I'm just saying that. I'm saying don't count them out.
They're only on 3.
I'm not
I
kidding. I'm
agree
just
with you.
We
saying.
got Martin Arrett for some reason, but we got him.
If anyone can tell me who
Yeah.
that is,
I mean, we traded first
We traded our top prospect.
a top prospect
who could have
for
played this
guy.
year
for a guy who has like
for
8
Martin
career
Arrett,
points.
But it's whatever.
And I'm hoping
it's
that
whatever.
he delivers because
Well,
There goes the
right now,
prospects.
Ovechkin is like killing everybody. Like
Yeah.
just
Hat trick.
hat
In his
tricks,
division.
his
As it
goals.
should be.
Johansson.
He should be.
He's
I
showing up
just
too.
Because I'm going to be honest, I was very disappointed when Ovechkin wasn't producing like he should. And thankfully, he's
well, everybody, you'd be upset.
I mean, I think this whole season has been kind of like just different because we had the whole lockout. We didn't start till
And we got a new
25%
coach.
February.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have new head coach. Like who I don't.
I don't like
know
how
I
they
feel
keep
about.
giving up their lead, though. That freaks me out. That annoys me. It makes me want to throw something at the television. But
Yeah.
I think they're going to be fine. They're in third seed. They just need to continue winning, get points in every game.
It's that simple. Just win every
And I
game.
mean,
you
they
know?
did advance farther than the first round last year when they weren't top seeded. So I'm just saying that
7 games.
So
in
they-
a superstitious sense, if they go in as a low seed,
so maybe if we
if they're going there
lose a
unfavored,
couple-
exactly. Because I mean, like sometimes when the lower seed teams are playing the higher seed teams, they
'Cause
don't
right now-
always bring their A game because they're thinking, oh, this is seed 8.
I
Not
think
worried
we
about
saw
them.
that plenty in the NCAA tournament this year.
Yeah, like people underestimate the underdogs, or so it isn't seen.
A third seed
Same.
isn't an underdog, though. You know?
Excuse me.
Can we talk about how they shouldn't be a third seed just because they're winning their division? Let's talk about that.
I mean, the Southeastern
Everyone said that's ridiculous.
division
Just the way it is,
is
man.
like
That's-
horrible.
Yeah, it's all about.
But it is about if you're leading the division, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's
but
all about.
Wait until next year when they're in a division with Pitt, Philly. It's going to be a wrap for
I
the
mean,
Capitals.
these-
I'm sorry to break
we
it to you.
We should talk about the new division type things. It's crazy. How is Florida in a division with New York, Buffalo Sabres, and all that? It makes no sense.
I mean, well, in the
Well,
NFL,
that's
the
also-
Skins are in the same division as the Cowboys, like where that was done to obviously to maintain that rivalry.
I was going to say, because you can't
But,
break
like,
up that rivalry.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I mean, if you're basing everything else on like geographical location, but you're basing this one division on like a team's
I think
rivalry,
in all-
really, like I think
more in-
that's incredibly just inconsistent.
More and
It
more in
doesn't make sense.
sports is geographic location becoming like less and less of an issue. I mean, just thinking of Maryland moving from the ACC to the Big Ten.
Done.
That
Out of time.
I mean, yeah. So Kat, let's close it up here now.
Well, that's all for Sports Night tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again next Monday.